When I was growing up as a child, I enjoyed watching cartoons. I watched a lot of cartoons every day after school. But you know which one was my favorite? It was a cartoon called Tom and Jerry. And for those of you who aren't familiar with Tom and Jerry, it's a cartoon that entails a series of comic fights between a house cat, Tom, and a mouse called Jerry. And each episode of Tom and Jerry is centered around Tom's numerous attempts to capture and kill Jerry and the mayhem and destruction that follows. Every time when Tom tries to capture Jerry, Jerry has to make an affirmative effort to get out, to escape a deadly situation, to save his life. And Jerry, he escaped most of the times, but there were some times when Jerry was just cornered. He had no way out, despite his efforts to escape Tom's grasp. He was cornered. And in those times, Jerry had to defend himself. He had to defend his life. Members of the jury, this right here is a Tom and Jerry case. The law states that self-defense is justified when 1, there is imminent danger of death or great bodily harm, and 2, the force must be necessary under the circumstances. This entire case could be summarized in 3 main points, right? Donald Abbott verbally threatened to kill Mr. Cole. Mr. Cole took affirmative steps to avoid every single confrontation with Donald Abbott. Donald Abbott eventually forced Mr. Cole into a corner. After chasing him multiple times, ultimately forcing Mr. Cole to make the difficult decision. Members of the jury, if that isn't self-defense, I don't know what is. Now, the state has the highest burden of proof. And that is a proof beyond a reasonable doubt. The state must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Cole is guilty of first-degree murder. What do I mean by reasonable doubt? Think about going to a job interview. Pack your resume, your writing sample, your transcript, and you leave. As you're on your way to the metro, double check your book bag to ensure that everything is still inside. Although you knew that everything is inside the bag, you still had a tiny doubt. You had a reasonable doubt that they just weren't there. All the evidence must prove beyond a reasonable doubt that Mr. Cole is guilty of first-degree murder. Based on the testimonies that you've seen, that you've heard, based on the evidence, and based on everything else that you've heard in this trial, it is only logical that you will return with a verdict of